Hey yo, what's up everybody? Today we're going to talk about a serious topic, namely what would me and our team do in crypto right now if we haven't been here for about 5 years, but rather were newcomers. So if you're new to crypto or it's your first time in being in a bear market and you want to get some income and gains right now, then this video is for you. In this video we'll focus on what specific activities you want to go after, what should we do in crypto, what crypto we're buying and holding right now, and why, and what other preparations we should take before the upcoming bull market when the most of the crypto is going to do the next 10x's and even more. Let's start. The first thing we need to comprehend, it's really important, is the market phase we're in right now, because this will dictate all our further actions, because there are 4 market phases and each of them is completely different in the way we're doing our activities and what we're actually buying and what we're doing in terms of free time in crypto, because there is a better time for buying NFTs and shitcoins, which will give us like 20x or something, and there's a better time to be acquiring and accumulating Bitcoin. So let's get over to this.
Yeah, and guys, hi from the future, because I forgot to mention this in this video. Because storing your crypto securely is really important, we'll be giving out 1 Ledger Nano X in this video to one random guy who best guesses the Ethereum price for the 3rd of November. So what we're going to do is, I'm gonna look when the trade starts on the 3rd of November on Binance. I'll see the opening price. The person who writes it in the comments and is the closest to the correct price, so that the Ethereum will be basically in almost 1 week, will get this Ledger Nano X, or we just transfer the USDC to their account. So basically, yeah, leave your Telegram handle or your Twitter handle in the comments together with your price, so I can contact you via Twitter or Telegram, and basically we're gonna send out to you the price. So good luck guessing that. So again, closest person to the Ethereum price 3rd of November is going to win this Ledger Nano X, so good luck.
So first there is the uptrend phase, when the whole crypto market grows dramatically and you can buy literally any coin, anything, and get your profits. Then it's followed by the distribution phase. When the market peaks, it's actually the best time to sell because we're in the market highs, and that's the best time for projects with low liquidity and GameFi to be buying them, because they still have a chance to be pumped by all the extensive liquidity that's in the market. But it's the best time to sell off your fundamental coins, because they tend not to grow there once they reach a certain point. Then comes the downtrend phase, when you can actually take a break for about 6 months and just chill doing nothing, because that's the time when most of the crypto is falling anywhere between 70% for Bitcoin, approximately to 80% to 90 to 95% for some less liquid altcoins. And then it's followed by the accumulation phase, basically the market bottom. And this accumulation phase, the market bottom, is actually where we're in right now. And I'm not saying that 19,000 for Bitcoin is the smallest price we will ever get to, but I mean like in the medium and the average, this is literally when, if you're buying your crypto here, if it's a fundamental altcoin or Bitcoin and it survives the future to the future bull market, then you will get a lot of income. So this is the longest, takes about 2 years, and most fundamental of all the phases for the upcoming opportunities when you can earn on the bull market. And we will look at what to do here right now in the next few minutes. But first, let's take a look at what we don't pay attention to or not pay attention to in this phase, because that's not where the profits are in the moment. So this phase is the worst time for various GameFi projects, play to earns and stuff like this, like basically projects with low liquidity. It's a really bad time for flipping NFTs, especially old NFTs, because they tend to go down right now and they're being pumped only after all the fundamental coins are being pumped. And basically not so good period for token sales, unless those token sales are the ones from fundamental projects like awesome new blockchains you would buy anyways from the market once they're out. So if it's blockchain you will buy for the market price once it's listed, it's a good idea to participate in the token sale if you got the opportunity to. If not, if it's a token sale, I don't know, of some new GameFi projects and you saw them 20x like literally 1 year ago, that's not the case. What's going to happen right now? No money is here in the market. These are all good activities, no doubt, and are extremely profitable during the uptrend or the distribution phase when the market is in the highs, but not right now. And we sure see them rise in the future again, but again only in the uptrend and the next distribution phase. So now let's get to the point. What should you focus on doing right now today? Now is actually the time for doing 3 main things. That's the preparation for upcoming activities, sounds a little bit boring, I know, learning how crypto and DeFi actually works, even more boring, and doing different activities related to the current market cycle right now, like buying fundamental assets long term, doing nodes, testnets, and a few ambassador programs that are actually just starting off right now again and will be more popular in the next couple of months and next year. And this is again more exciting. So let's look at all these categories one by one. In terms of preparation, the first thing we need to do is having a good info field around us, a good informational field. I'm not talking here about this guy called John and this guy is Greg, and they're telling you like secrets when to pump dumb crypto when you to buy and sell. Not at all. I'm talking about fundamental stuff here, because now is the time when you will be able to get into projects, into high quality projects early, and it always pays off later if you are active in the community, have good projects early on. And so this is actually the base of all. This is where a lot of income is lying in right now. It's actually right at the top. Nobody just uses it. So what's a high quality info field? Who should we look after? Who should we listen to? What should we actually look out for in the market? One way to do a good info field around us is a high quality Twitter and a good Discord account with lots of subscriptions. I mean, because 95% of all the new projects, all the new information will be found purely on Twitter. And Discord is really great for tracking their further updates and getting basically roles which will grant us in the future free tokens, or maybe a few free allocations for a token sale for NFTs and stuff like that in the future if we contribute to the project. So what I really advise you to do now is just going over to Twitter. If you don't have an account there, just register. It takes 2 minutes, and basically subscribe to the best VC funds or to many VC funds. You will get even a bigger spectrum of information, and just look what they're up to, because I know a lot of people who are working in crypto VC funds, and they're basically getting or reviewing about 40 to 50 projects a day, and of course they're tracking out new ones because they get applications from these projects to invest in them and share their fundraising activity and details. And this is a pretty nice way to get information about new projects and new activities which we can up to. And basically I have a Twitter with over 500 subscriptions. 300 of them are VC funds, 100 of them are like ecosystems, or 50 of them are ecosystems. Some are influencer, I don't know, like Alex Becker, because he's a smart guy. Here he is. And basically, yeah, I use TweetDeck. That's a good application you can use. Here it's called tweetdeck.twitter.com. And basically it lets you split your Twitter space into various columns. Basically, I've got a column with tier 1 funds, and I see here, you can see what I've subscribed to. No, wait, I need to click here on edit. Basically, that's my list of people I'm watching here in tier 1, because this is the most well-performing and supporting crypto funds there are right now in crypto. It's Multicoin Capital, it's Polychain Capital, Digital Currency Group, Coinbase, Paradigm, A16Z, and Sequoia Capital, because they're showing great results. Next, I've got tier 1s, because if I have more time to look over what's going up in crypto right now, I move over here, because here the results will be probably not as good as in tier 1 funds, but still, if I want to review more projects, I can do this. So who am I subscribed here right now? It's Climb Blue Capital. Not many people heard of him actually, but they have really cool stuff going on. They invest in Polkadot, they're investing, I think, in Matic. All the top projects right now on CoinMarketCap, they invest into them. Shima Capital, Z Prime Capital, a lot of stuff here. You can actually read them by yourself. Won't going to read them all now. So these are the funds that are actually really good, but don't quite make it into tier of best ones. So they're still tier 1, but not tier 1 plus. And actually, as we go further down the line, I've got everything set up from tier 1 plus to tier 5, so about 10 different columns. You actually see that the amount of different projects or different Twitter accounts you're following is going bigger, because here already tier 2 are 41 projects, tier 3 are, no, I think it's about 80 and so on. So yeah, that's how I monitor Twitter. That's how I know what's actually going on in activities, because all these private groups, or I don't know, stuff like Crypto Market Call with an L at the end, they always parse the info from here. Because if you want to be first in crypto in any activity, get an OG role, you need Twitter accounts. As for Discord, it's actually quite simple. It also takes about 2 minutes to just make a Discord account. And what I'm doing with Discord is the projects that I found in Twitter that are interesting to me, I just subscribe to them on Discord, because Twitter is quite junky. I might miss some important info because it's just loud. There's a lot of content going on. Discord, I only monitor the stuff I'm really interested in. So I keep track of all the announcements, because maybe I found a project right now, it's really new, but it didn't launch any activities or any contests. But I'm waiting because they announced, yeah, in 2 weeks we're gonna launch something. Keep track of us. So in order not to miss it, what I do is I create my own server. It's free. I create another text channel, like for example announcements, I called it ANS. What I do next is I just see a project or find a project I'm interested in right now, or let's call it be a Genopaz, for example. Next here it says subscribe to the server in order not to miss any auto notifications, because yeah, this is another language right now, but still that's what is going to be there in English. So I click on subscribe, and then I choose my server, and then I click the channel announcements. I subscribe, and what happens next then is from the interested projects I get all the updates here, because right now it will sort out, so I can read this. So I can just scroll through basically all the announcements from different Discord servers. I don't need to click through them, and basically that's really handy. Yeah, so you can group them by different tier projects or different, for example, you can look out for GameFi in a separate server or folder. You can look out for DeFi first in a separate server. So this is actually a really good thing to work with information and being a community member of the server in order to get whitelists or token sale allocations in the future. So use it. That's basically it for what I wanted to tell you about the info field. Basically looking out for new projects and keeping track of the updates of the projects you actually like. And now let's move on. So the most of our current activities should be aimed at accumulating, basically buying a lot of fundamental coins for low prices in order to sell them in the next uptrend or distribution phase way higher and actually get your profits. And it's important that we look towards fundamental coins like the top blockchains and architecture, and not stuff like GameFi and pump and dump things, because the last category of projects, they won't even survive to the next bull market. So what's the point of buying them? I'll let you a graph appear here, a chart appear here of what the best, most promising basically pump coins, what they were doing in the years 2018 to 2021. Most of them didn't even survive, even though they were the top of coin market cap in 2018, top 50. So this means, unfortunately, that this is not the time for instant access for almost any activity right now, like it was back in 2021, just a year ago. And of course, you might get a little bit lucky, catch some quick and easy money and profits here and there, but it will be a huge exception of the rule, and betting on luck isn't a good idea. So let's get real about things here and what you can actually do to get profits, at least long term right now and consistently. Well, yeah, just by judging the phase name, accumulation, we're acquiring assets for lower prices in order to sell them 10 to 20 times higher or more expensive in the next phase when the market is rising or distributing, maybe even sometimes 100 times more if it happens for us to meet the next Solana or maybe Matic. But again, it's more luck, but 10-20x is something we can really count on. And if we want to accumulate these coins super cheap, we need to go setting up nodes, doing testnets and ambassadorship programs. Well, and again, if you want to buy these coins a little bit more expensive, you can just buy them off the market right now while it's really low, like literally 80 to 95, sometimes 99% down in coin prices. I'll just start with the most simple activity, just buying coins off the market. I'll just say that mostly I'm accumulating fundamental coins right now, like 90% of them are fundamental, 40% of my portfolio from the different coins, excluding stable coins I still have for buying even further if the market is going deeper down. 40% of my coins is Bitcoin. Yeah, of course it's boring, but this is the safest option right now. So actually I can later just sell off my Bitcoin in order to acquiring any other asset before it starts growing. The rest is Ethereum, DOT, Atom, Solana, ADA, Cardano, XRP, XLM, not because this will be the new financial system, just because these are different news that are attached to this XRP and XLM, and they can basically uncorrelate to Bitcoin, and you can trade Bitcoin to XRP and XLM really good. But that's not the point. Furthermore, I'm buying Glimmer, Ethereum Classic, Avalanche, Polygon, Matic, and some other coins which are considered as really fundamental and importantly liquid. All of these coins make about 90% of my portfolio right now, not counting again the stable coins I have for further accumulation, but counting the 40% BTC I already mentioned above. So 50% are different altcoins, 40% BTC, and the other 10% of my portfolio and assets is spread between different architectural projects and CeFi and DeFi, like for example Uniswap, Chainlink, DYDX, FTT, the token of the FTX exchange, Alameda Research, BlackRock, and stuff like this. And yeah, so that's basically the stuff I'm buying and accumulating right now. It's not something that will give me instant profits, most probably, but of course I'm thinking long term, and this is the long term stuff which will rise again and give me some good gains in a couple of years, maybe later. Now let's get over to activities which will acquire some time in order to do them, but you can get their crypto for free or even cheaper than the market prices. And I'm not talking about like pump and dump stuff that you will get like worth of 10 cents. I'm talking about tens, sometimes $100,000 worth in crypto you get for your activities. So what can you do there? Let's start with something called running nodes. I don't know if it's popular for you in your region, but for me where I'm located, it's really popular at this point of time. It's a huge topic now because the best projects, the best blockchains of the future cycle, which will come out on the next basically peaks or when the market starts rising, they're being built right now. Furthermore, when the market is at its peaks, maybe you've already recognized it before, only GameFi and like really on your knee projects are being built by devs really fast in order to make a pump and dump scheme and earn some crypto there from a token sale. But all the fundamental stuff, all the best blockchain and architecture is being built when the money is really scarce and you've got the time when the market is boring, blah blah, to do this. And this is how I want to lead to the next topic, to setting up nodes. So these projects which are being built right now, these include new blockchains that have higher bandwidth, more efficient smart contracts, faster transactions and stuff like this, like and compared to previous generation. Like for example, we had Bitcoin, then we had Ethereum, that's in the next cycle, that's had faster transactions. Then we had something like Polkadot, Solana, Matic, which was built on top of Ethereum. Again, it was an improvement. And we'll see, of course, something like this in the next cycle. Better, faster, more simple blockchains. But before the launch of these blockchains, which are being built right now already, Aptos, Sui, for example, these blockchains require testing, a lot of testing by the community, which is achieved by placing a big amount of nodes or validating nodes in the so-called testnet. So running a testnet within a node, within a blockchain, might reward you with a lot of tokens in the future, and you might catch the next Solana, Polygon, or something like this even for free. I'm literally talking about for free, just paying for the server hostings. I'm gonna get to this in a minute. The most popular nodes right now are Aptos, Sui, Mina protocol. We had an interview with John, the CMO, a really nice guy, positive guy, on our channel back, I don't know, like 1.5 years ago probably already. Probably Massa is a good node for setting up right now, but here you can just take a screenshot of all the other nodes we are running with our team right now, because we're really focusing on this stuff, because yeah, it's helping the project to develop and getting basically tokens as a reward for it. The process of running a node is really different for every project, but it's actually quite simple if you don't want to go too much into detail for this, because all nodes are built differently, every blockchain is built differently, requires different stuff, so it's everything there is unique from projects to projects, but as a rule of thumb, here's how it works. You actually rent a server on a hosting platform and run some code there, which you can get either from the GitHub of the project or the Discord and the project. You can ask where the basically source code for running the node is, and you just then copy this code, it's basically some lines of code, and paste it into the server, into the command bar, and that's it. The node starts running. You just need to keep track of the updates in the Discord, that you always have the most recent update running on the node. And the most projects, they have already pre-written guides on how to run them. You can find them on Discord and Medium, and that's not hard at all. You do need to have some technical knowledge there, basically how to copy and paste the code, but really if you want to take it serious and if you're not lazy, you can get all the knowledge you need just from watching YouTube videos from other people who didn't cover this yet. You will understand how to run a node within a couple of hours, maybe a day. Really, that's easy. So what can you expect financially from running a node right now? The potential profit here ranges anywhere from $0 to $100,000, and mostly it's going to be zero, unfortunately, but the $100,000 you can get from one or two nodes actually covers all the costs for the failed nodes. Actually, basically you get rewards in the form of tokens, which you can later sell in the distribution phase though. So this is also a more long-term activity. As an impressive example from node runners in the past cycle, we can take Solana, the Solana blockchain. It had also a testnet, and you could actually participate in there, and you received, I don't quite remember how many Solana tokens. It was either 2, 4, or 8,000 tokens per node. It was about $500,000. I remember definitely at the peaks, if you would sell Solana for about $200,000, not even $260,000. So you had a lot of gains from just running a node, which you would pay a couple of $100 for its maintenance. Yeah. And basically that's the plan. We need to look for further promising blockchains, good team, good founders of the blockchain, good VCs that invest in them, that will basically pump up the price for us to sell and for them to sell, and that's how it works. But $500,000 is actually an exception. I think only Solana paid that much. Those who were running a node, for example, on Moonbeam, we did it. We got around, I know, $100,000 in token per node. In Avalanche, you would get $200,000 in tokens per node. I'm talking about if you would sell in the highs, not like you got the tokens and you split them in the market. That's not the way it works. What else? Not all the nodes are actually giving out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Also, we had project like STX with $700 per node, but you could set up a lot of nodes in this project. So yeah, you could get 10 times $700, and basically that's the way it works. We will have a lot of projects which don't even pass the $0 line. They don't even work in the end. We have a few projects which give you like $3,000 to $2,000 per node, and we've got like really a few projects like 1 to 3 to maybe 4 in the cycle, which will give you tremendous returns. How to see them? Well, actually it's luck and good analytics, so it depends on you. Well, long story short, nodes are a pretty cool thing, not too difficult to figure it out, just takes a little bit of time and concentration, and now is the right time for setting it up, because in no other market phase there will be such a big amount of fundamental blockchains in development where we can take part in testing them. And yeah, we're done with nodes. Now let's head over to another thing called testnets, which you can actually do completely for free. Working with retro drops and testnets isn't just profitable, but also a very useful activity, because it helps you to figure out the way decentralized application and decentralized space of crypto works and get to know new upcoming trends like literally in advance. The idea is pretty similar to placing nodes. You do certain actions and get rewarded, maybe rewarded, depends on the project, with the project's tokens in the form of an airdrop, or it's called a retro drop, because if you've done something retrospectively in the past, you're getting tokens right now. This stuff is never announced by the projects, so the way it works is actually a new project is coming out, you try out and test it, and then maybe you get a chance to get the tokens of the project. The really good thing is that this stuff doesn't require you to do anything financially, because this is everything in testnets. This is like free crypto, free money, and basically it takes about a couple of minutes to test out a new decentralized application, and then you get the chance to get the next future airdrop. That's also some good prices you can obtain there. I'm going to get over to this in just a couple of minutes. The idea lies in testing a certain decentralized app that isn't out publicly yet, which means in the future you might receive some free tokens for the decentralized apps for testing it, for using it, for doing it. And those decentralized apps usually come in the DeFi sector, of course. So these are like decentralized exchanges or DEXs, cross-chain bridges for crypto, like for example Ethereum to buy in a smart chain or something other, lending services to lend and borrow crypto, or NFT marketplaces to sell and buy NFTs. And in order to get rewarded, you just need to use the service, well, quite easy the way it's intended. If it's a DEX, make a decentralized swap there. If it's a marketplace, list or sell an NFT or buy an NFT there. If it's a bridge, try a cross-chain transfer from one blockchain to another. I think you got my idea. So yeah, you actually do need some assets in order to swap them, but you don't need to spend them, only gas fees actually. But the most testnets are not even handled with real money, not on the current blockchain. They're they're being made in basically a testnet in the test blockchain of any other blockchain. Like for example, Ethereum, it could be Rapston network, where are free tokens, you can obtain them from faucets. In Polygon network, it's the Mumbai network, which actually has tokens which are nothing worth. And I'll leave you links in the description below this video. So a guide of, basically not a guide, to basically a website. You just need to press one button and the test networks are automatically set up in your MetaMask account. And also I'll leave you a link for the faucets for receiving free tokens, because yeah, of course you need to get this free token somewhere before you can start testing the app. So yeah, it's all completely free. Links are in the description. Not even sponsored, just stuff. So yeah, just try it out. Right now specifically, you can play around with testnets like zk-link, zk-sync, mute, vaults, synfutures, and infinity swap. But also be ready to take a screenshot. Here's a table of a few more testnets from our team that we're doing right now. That's actually a really big list. You could just try them out. Rewards in testnets come in all sorts and fashions, but a lot of the time there might not even be a reward here at all. So there are no guarantees here, but again, you don't even spend your money, and it takes like 5 minutes to do it. So we prefer here quantity over quality. But the most acclaimed testnets were retro drops, such as from DApps like Uniswap, where people have gotten 400 Uni tokens or about $17,000 at its peaks, just for making one trade in the early phase of Uniswap back in 2020. Then DYDX gave away at least 310 tokens or $8,000 on its highs. Optimism airdropped 727 tokens for using it early, and it's like equivalent of $1,000 at its market highs. And yeah, these were just tokens for a simple action like doing a DEX swap or using a bridge. So this is stuff you can earn, and it takes you like only up to a minute. The problem is, again, you test the DApp and the tokens might arrive only like half a year later or 1 year later after listing. So it's a really early in activity. But again, because a lot of new decentralized applications, blockchains, and basically infrastructure are developed right now, this is the time to test them, to receive tokens when the market will start growing, rising, and sell them there. So testnets are awesome. They're free. It takes little time to take part in them, and they're relevant to all the market phases. But now is the most relevant market phase because a lot of stuff is being built here right now. And so now the plan is that we're just accumulating the tokens we're receiving from the testnets in order to sell them later in the distribution phase when they make like 10, 20, maybe even more 50x's. And that's it for the testnets. Let's move on to the ambassador programs, because this is really exciting stuff, which you don't actually just act like a bot where you set up all these testnets and nodes. This is stuff where you can basically talk to the community of the projects and enhance it. The last of the 4 activities I really recommend doing right now in the current market stage is ambassadorship programs, and this stuff is actually only started to kick off right now. It will be even more popular like in about half a year, 1 year, according to the market cycle, because now the projects are being built, they're building their MVP, and only once the MVP is being built, most of the time, the teams is starting to basically building up a broad community, and the communities all the ambassadorship programs are actually about to get more people to know this project. They're actually making ads for the brand, sort of. Basically, it's a very broad activity where you can get really good stuff and profits with not even money invested, just time. The perks might be like tokens, or a token sale whitelist where you can buy tokens for a super cheap price in order to sell them later. It might be airdrops, it might be NFTs, it might be beta testing of an app where you can start earning being the first in the app. So this includes stuff like this. So basically, you will be the first person trying out or doing the new stuff in the projects at the best price. I don't want to dwell on this for too long. I just say this, that in case of ambassadorship programs, all we need to do is help a certain projects in any way we actually can. It could be translating a text to another language, it could be design, it could be creating media content, like for example video reviews or text reviews or analysis about this project. It could be writing reviews or articles about this, taking part in community management, making contests and stuff like this, and so on and so on. Basically, in a few words, the point is in being useful to certain projects or helpful to a certain project, and basically then get a chance of obtaining rewards for this. As a reward for being helpful and useful, we can get the ambassador status if we're really useful, but we also need to keep up our actions in order to basically not to lose it until the project basically goes live. And the ambassador status gives us access to the most rewarding activities before everybody else can do them. So this could be again airdrop tokens, whitelist for token sales, beta testing of the app, and stuff like this. I already mentioned it. So this is why you want to be an ambassador, to help the project and to get perks from it, because that's, yeah, you spend your time. That's a two-way movement. You give something to the project and it also rewards you with something. The most important thing here is, besides being helpful and really doing stuff, not just acting as if you are, it's being as early as possible in the projects, about like 6 months, sometimes a year before its launch. Then it's typically the time when all the groundwork for the projects and for being an ambassador is being laid, when the ambassador program actually launches. So it makes no sense being an ambassador but most of the time of a project which is already being traded on the market. It's all about being early in, because that's when you can talk to the team members, talk to the CEO, CMO if you try to, and basically really bring up your point in order to work closely with the projects together. But despite the long duration of the ambassador project, the long time it takes to fulfill it, like 6 to 12 to sometimes even 18 months, a few days at the beginning, at the very start of its launch, can decide whether we will get the ambassador role with its perks or not. Because once the announcement of the ambassador project is live on Twitter, it's being passed on to different private groups, it's being passed on to special communities which are trying to become ambassadors, and basically it's much harder to become ambassador of the projects once the info is available for everybody. Once it's live, in a couple of days basically they get all the ambassadors they need, and the form is most of the time closed. Sometimes it's not a couple of days, it's a couple of weeks, but you get my point. It's important to be at the very start. And here I'm coming back to TweetDeck, to Twitter, why it's important to basically be able to see new projects in the first row, because you want to be there in the project, in the Discord, before everybody else does, and basically talk to the team of the project for the best conditions for your help regarding the projects. Maybe asking for an ambassador program in advance, so they keep in mind that you're there, you want to help, and you will get rewards later. The rewards from an ambassadorship program can also range anywhere between $0 to $100,000, but anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per ambassador program is a very good average, which actually is our average from the past few years, and for this, in order to accomplish this, we actually spend like 2 to 3 hours a week doing different tasks for the project, like literally actually helping them. Sometimes we translated websites to German, for example. Sometimes we were just setting up nodes, because nodes and ambassadorship programs sometimes work closely together. Sometimes we made memes for them. Actually, the worst memes you can actually imagine. We're not good at this, but we still tried it. Sometimes we made content design, reviews on our YouTube channel about the project. So this is there's a lot of stuff you can do. And if you don't know what you can help with, just think about what you're good at. Just tell the project, yo, I can see this can be done better, let me help you. Or you can just message the admins in the Discord channel and just ask them, yo guys, you need any help with something, I can help. They are out there, and you can see where they invested actually in what projects. Here it is, here in investors. So there are about 8,000 investors in the crypto market as a whole, and you could track the guys and see what their investing results were. For example, here is D1 Ventures. You can press here and look what they invested in, so you can see how well or good the coin did, and if it's something good, you can understand, yeah, this is some fund I could follow on Twitter, for example. That's how it works. And fundraising companies, you can see just here basically what were the recent funding rounds, so you understand what's going on in the market at the moment, and basically who's investing in what category of applications. Is it more seed round, is it more series A, so is it more serious investment, or more yeah, just GameFi and stuff like this. I think you got my point. Really good stuff. Alternatively, free for Dove metrics, you can use cryptofundraising.info. That's approximately the same web service that Dove metrics and Messari just was, but all the info is coming out here later in a lower quantity, so I don't really like the site. I'm just saying, if you don't want to spend $30, you can try using this one as an short alternative. Next web service is cryptorank.io. Here, for example, you can also again go to a certain coin, just click on it and see what its ICO price was in order to understand basically where's the potential bottom and how many profits did the investors make from this coin. So this is also a really good thing you can use. So cryptorank.io. Next one is, of course, CoinMarketCap. I don't think I need to explain anybody what CoinMarketCap is, but just in case, you can go choose the cryptocurrency you like, or just search for crypto here in the top. Look at its volume, trading volume, basically completely trading volume, the circulating supply, how much crypto is on the market, so how the price is doing right now, what it's up to. Like now it's up to falling. And yeah, that's basically all the most fundamental and basic stuff of cryptocurrency you can just see on coinmarketcap.com, or CoinGecko is an alternative to this. Next is CoinsGuru. I really like the service as well, because you can just click a cryptocurrency and just look at its social ranking. So basically you can see here how many important people from the crypto ecosystem are subscribed to this or that cryptocurrency. So the higher the Twitter score is, the better, of course, because here you can see who is followed by. You can also use this Twitter score not on Uniswap, because we all understand Uniswap is great, but rather on new projects you find, for example, on Twitter, and this way you can see how many important funds, VCs, Twitter, maybe audit companies are subscribed to that or that crypto, so you can think maybe there will be good partnerships in the future. And the last but not least, actually least, is CoinMarketCap. Is the future event in crypto, what's going to happen next. Basically some token sales, Binance Live event you can track. That's like a crypto calendar you can use in order to track the upcoming events. But again, Twitter is much better for tracking. So here we go. These are all the web services I would recommend you try using. Try learning how they work, because they really help you in the work in conjunction to Twitter and Discord. Now a few last words in terms of what you could study theoretically to just improve your mind and understanding of crypto as a whole. First, how economy and blockchains work. And there is a great course of lectures by Gary Gensler, the MIT professor at the time and the US chairman of the SEC at this point of time at the moment. The course is called Blockchain and Money, and it's a mix of economy and cryptocurrency. Very, very useful to learn on there. It's just free and on YouTube. You can just watch it. I think it's 24 episodes. Really good this stuff, and it's from 2018 from autumn, but still the info, like 95%, is still up to date because yeah, this guy is smart. And also another short recommendation of mine if you're just new to crypto is to read three main books. It's How to DeFi for Beginners, How to DeFi Advanced, and How to NFT. These are all books by CoinGecko, and of course you can just find them, either purchase them or find them anywhere on the internet. So this is actually like your entrance gateway to DeFi for understanding how protocols work and what DeFi is actually all about. And that's actually it for this video today. So in order to sum up, set up your Twitter account properly. You need this fresh new info about the crypto market. Enter your Discord account, buy fundamental crypto, not the one that's going to scam in the next couple of years. Do note, retro drops if you got the opportunity and time. Do ambassadorship programs. That's really important. That's where all the money is. The easy one is. You just need to spend some time if you get it. And yeah, basically as a conclusion, I'll just say that there's always something to do in crypto space. It's just not that always the market is pumping like crazy, because yeah, if something grows, it needs to fall down again. And it's just the activities that transform and change over time to time, and it's all cycles repeatedly. Yeah, there are like phases for accumulating coins, and there are phases for selling them in the market highs. Right now we're in the accumulation phase. There are tens of times. There's like 10 times less money right now in crypto than there were about 1.5 years ago, because everything has fallen down. But nevertheless, if you're buying right now, you will be very, very, I don't like the word rich. You'll be financially secured in the future in the next couple of years, 2.5 years. But in order to this, increase your knowledge base, increase your basically skills in crypto. I've just mentioned everything in this video, what you can do. So basically prepare for the best activities, do them, and buy fundamental cryptocurrency cheap. I hope this video was interesting and helpful for you. And good luck to everybody, because we're going to have like another, I don't know, 1.5 long years in crypto with not so much attention. But again, everything